So good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, big waves out there. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. I actually had a fun thing happen yesterday. So you guys saw that we were with Dr. V, and he did, I don't know if you saw any of the pictures, but I think Coach posted them, but he put like these little clamps on our wrists, and he did some kind of health test on us. And he said that according to his health thing, that I am younger than my age. So I said, I'll take it. I don't know if it's true or not, but we're gonna rock it, and we're gonna say it is, because we all kind of want to be younger than we are once we hit like 25. Before then, we want to be older, but maybe after that, we want to be a little younger. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Andrea Rosser here. Coach is on a plane, so we're going to say happy birthday to Sandy Smith, and Kelly might be on here. So I don't know if Kelly jumps on here, but if you guys see Kelly Calhoun, it is her birthday today, but I saw Sandy already. So happy birthday, Sandy. And we're going to do a word today that was requested by Marlene. So Marlene, thank you so much. She sent us a bunch of E-words. So we're going to do one of them today, and then we'll probably spread them out a little bit because it was a lot of E-words and they're kind of hard. But the word for today is empower. So what is empower? To give official authority or legal power to promote the self-actualization or influence of. Okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, the real life definition: empowerment is the process of encouraging an individual to think, behave, manage, take action, and make decisions towards their goals, right? So, I think about our kids, and maybe when they're little, we empower them to dress themselves. I don't know, or maybe your kids were like mine, that I never was given that ability. Like when they were tiny and they couldn't move, I could have an opinion, and after that, they kind of took over. But there's at different times when we have to empower our kids to just do a little bit more, and we can absolutely do that with the people around us as well. But the first thing that I looked into, it was like, okay, so empowerment's important, but who should we empower? Right? Who in our world should we empower? Can you guess the first person we should empower? Anybody? Ourselves. Yeah, right? Where sometimes we give away our power to everybody else. We say, well, I can't do that, or I'm going to wait until, or we run around and we look for permission to go live our life. And I actually saw a quote this morning, early for you guys, but I thought was so empowering. And what it said was, and I'm going to mess it up because this was a long time ago, but you can look on my Facebook if you want to see it. But pretty much what it was saying was, just go be weird. Go be your weird self, because the people that are still going to want to hang around with you are the ones that will truly love you. And if we aren't empowered to be ourselves when we're out there, well, then how are people supposed to even like us, because they don't even know us, right? That person we're hiding, they might love if we stopped hiding it a little bit. And that is a way that we can empower ourselves. So some other ways that we can empower ourselves is to gain clarity about what is expected from us. So, sometimes I've got to take time to clarify, okay, what's my role at home? What's my role at church? What's my role at work? And figure out what am I supposed to really be doing here? What's important to the people around me, so I know what I can step into in that place. Next, I can empower myself by finding a mentor. And I think about my personal life, and in this industry, when I first, the first couple years that I worked here, I kind of ran my own race. I was out in California. There was really nobody, how do you say this, above me in the entire state. So it was me and my team. And so it was kind of a hard way to run. I had to learn everything on my own. I made a whole bunch of mistakes. But then later, I found this phenomenal mentor that helped me take my business completely to a different level, because I plugged into them. But I asked them also, sometimes they gave it to me without asking, but for honest feedback. Tell me what I'm doing right, and oh goodness, be gentle, but tell me all the things I'm doing wrong. And that can be empowering where we can learn from the mistakes that we're making. And then the next thing I looked into, okay, was okay, well, now that I feel all empowered, what do I do to empower those around me? If I want the people in my world to feel strong and that they are able to make decisions and that they can go run their own race, whatever that looks like, how do I empower them? And first of all, to do that, I've got to build trust. At times, it's necessary that we trust other people to take over tasks, or we're going to miss the goal, right? We're not going to be able to do what we want to do. And that absolutely takes time to build that trust. Every single one of us is going to make mistakes. We all do. But it's vital to allow people to learn from those mistakes and move forward with no trust lost. So if I tell you that I'm going to trust you to do something, I've got to trust you to do it. And maybe I step in and help as need be, but I'm going to allow them to go do. And I just think about kind of my son, and there's a book that we've all read, we've all heard of, at least, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the things that he talks about was, if you want your kids to go do the yard, right? If you want, so my son, he's supposed to be in charge of the yard. I have got to give them all the tasks and say, okay, this, you have ownership, this is yours, and I've got to trust him to go do it. And sometimes it goes better than other times, but I've got to let that go, right? The things that I can't do myself. And with that, I've got to offer instructions. So when Chase took over the yard, we really literally we drew a picture. And it was like, now at the time, everything inside the fence was his responsibility. And then everything outside the fence belonged to somebody else that it was hired out, right? But we went through, and it was, okay, well, what do you have to do in here? What does it look like to do the weeds? And what do you have to do with the pool? He didn't have to do much, whatever it may be, but he knew exactly what he was supposed to do, and he had instructions on how to do all of it. And we literally drew a little picture so he knew. And it kind of goes back to that whole give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but we show a man how to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. So we can teach people, all of us on here have skills. We can teach people what we can. And then that is a way that we can empower them. Next, if I really want to empower people, I've got to show appreciation. One of the most effective ways to empower others is to express, like, oh my gosh, Tammy, I appreciate that you're always here. You're always in the chat. You're always offering encouragement and nods and love and all of that. And that empowers her to want to go do that more, right? In different areas. And it's true, right? So thank you for that, Tammy. So when someone shows you something or does something that you appreciate, show it. Find a way to say, thank you so much. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for making my life a little bit easier, whatever it may be, but go appreciate that effort, because man, when somebody appreciates us, doesn't it make us want to try a little bit harder, do a little bit more? Don't we feel that confidence? Like, oh my gosh, I can do that. Where before I might be a little bit nervous to even try. With that, though, on the flip side, we've got to recognize people's limitations. And we all have different things. I'm really seeing, Kay is actually really seeing it these last couple of weeks in travel, that I cannot read a map to save my life. Like, if you had to follow me without GPS, and even sometimes with GPS, we're both in trouble. But I can recognize that that's a limitation in me, and I can hand that task over. So thankfully, I have a daughter that can find her way around pretty much anywhere after one try. And so she is, the beginning of this trip, I was having some control issues. And I'm like, no, I'll figure this out. And I was trying to figure it all out. And then I realized, we both realized, this is a limitation of moms. So let's pass over this responsibility to her. And I was empowered to realize that I can lean on somebody else and we'll still get to where we're supposed to go, and we'll do a much better job of it. So that's what I had about empower today. Marlene, I hope this was a good representation of your word for the day. And Sandy, I can't wait to sing to you. So Hill, if you wouldn't mind, could you ask everybody to unmute so we can go sing? Happy birthday to Sandy.
I can.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. And Sandy, happy birthday. Hope you have a beautiful day. And happy birthday
Birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday, dear Sandy.
Happy
Happy
birthday. Love you guys.
birthday to
See you
Happy
soon.
you.
birthday,
And
everybody.
many
God
more.
bless.
Many
See you
more.
back
Birthday,
on
ladies.
Monday.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Sandra.
Guys, have a great
Sandy.
Have a
weekend.
safe weekend, everybody.
You too, Eric.
Thanks for